Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 27th, 2024, and the Barcelona Board of Directors have not been able to agree on the deal that would help the club reach the 1-1 rule. Also, Barcelona are set to renew the contract with one of their main sponsors. And finally, Deco has a plan in order to shield the younger players in La Masia. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and I'm bringing you this super duper uber late video because today I actually got invited to the Uruguay versus Bolivia match. Really cool match. Uruguay won by 5-0. And also I got to see Ronald Araujo play for Uruguay. I had never seen him play for his national team. Of course, I've seen him play for Barcelona. So pretty cool experience. I just got home. I wanted to go to bed, but I decided that I couldn't go to bed until I brought you the latest news because there was a lot of news coming out of Camp Barca today, as per usual. Now, having said all that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links for kickback and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now we'll begin this video with the news that the Barcelona Board of Directors have failed to ratify the agreement that would cover the deficit in the Barcelona budget, which would help Barcelona achieve the 1-1 rule. Now, as you know by now, Barcelona sold a portion of Barca Vision to the German investment fund Libero, who were supposed to make a 40 million euro payment by December, and they failed to do so. They're also supposed to make a second payment by the end of this month. It's most likely that they're not going to make that payment either. And as such, Barcelona filed a lawsuit against the German fund. However, this has left a deficit in the club's budget, which they need to cover by June 30th. Otherwise, Barcelona will not be able to achieve the 1-1 rule. Now, as I reported these previous few videos, Barcelona have found a new investor who will be buying the portion that Libero had originally bought and therefore covering the deficit in Barcelona's budget. That investor is Spotify, who is Barcelona's main sponsor. And Spotify are going to be buying that portion of Barca Vision through an American investment firm. And today, the board of directors met in order to ratify that deal. And it's reported that the Barcelona board did not reach an agreement. And as such, this agreement has not been ratified yet. Now, the Barcelona board of directors met all day today to discuss this deal. They met all the way from the morning until late hours of the evening, only stopping for lunch. And despite making big advancements in discussion of this agreement, the board of directors were not able to reach an agreement. So as of now, this deal has not been ratified, which of course, it is a little bit concerning because the deadline is June 30th. But don't worry, it's not too concerning because it's being reported that the board of directors will eventually ratify this agreement. They will approve it, but for now, this hasn't been reached today, but it will be reached later. Now, it's being reported that the board of directors might not be able to ratify this agreement until after June 30th. Now, you might say, well, isn't the deadline June 30th? So if they ratify it afterwards, does that mean that Barcelona would not be able to reach the 1-1 rule? And to answer your question, no. Because Barcelona have already reached an agreement with Spotify through this American investment firm. So the agreement is there. Barcelona have already submitted all the paperwork to La Liga. La Liga have all the paperwork they need. So as such, even if Barcelona don't ratify this agreement until much later, Barcelona will still be able to achieve the 1-1 rule. Of course, they're not going to be able to achieve it until La Liga is done reviewing all the documents and until the club are done ratifying this agreement. So if this happens on, I don't know, July 10th, then Barcelona will be able to achieve the 1-1 rule by July 10th. But either way, Barcelona are achieving the 1-1 rule, whether they ratify the deal tomorrow or whether they ratify it in a week or two, because again, the agreement was reached with Spotify. The paperwork was already submitted to La Liga. So no worries, Barcelona will be under the 1-1 rule during this summer transfer market. Now, speaking of investors and sponsors, Barcelona are set to renew their agreement with another sponsor who are 1xBet. Now, 1xBet is a sports betting company that's based in Cyprus. They have 17 years of experience in the industry. They have offices all throughout Europe, Asia, and Latin America. And Barcelona signed the sponsorship deal with them back in 2019. And this agreement is set to expire on June 30th of this year, so in 2-3 days. However, it's being reported that Barcelona have been negotiating with 1xBet a renewal of the sponsorship and that they are very close to finalizing their agreement. And as such, Barcelona will be renewing this agreement with 1xBet, and this will definitely boost Barcelona's finances, because even though the figures have not been revealed, I can only imagine that this sponsorship agreement will be higher than before. Of course, we will have to wait for the official announcement of the club in order to figure out how much are the exact figures. Now, speaking of sport bets or sporting bets companies, again, if you want to make a sports bet on any sport, not just football, don't forget to go to Bet Us. The link is down below in the description. If you click on it, you get 125% extra money of what you deposit. So for example, if you deposit $100, you get another $125 for free to bet. And you can do this 3 times. So if you end up spending $300, you're gonna get $375 for you to spend for free on any sports bet. Anyways, let's talk about the next news, because it's reported that Deco wants to change how things are done in order to shield players from La Masia. Now, as you know, recently Margue decided to sign for Chelsea, and as such, Chelsea have activated his release clause, which is only worth 6 million euros. And now Margue will be headed to the Premier League. And after this, there's been a lot of criticism towards Barcelona and how they handled the release clauses of their youngsters. And as such, Deco has decided that he wants to change things around, because Barcelona's sporting directors wants to shield the youngsters of La Masia, especially the new up-and-coming class that is showing a lot of promise. You know, players like, for example, Marc Bernal or Guy Fernandez or even Oscar Gistau. And Deco wants to shield these players by including higher release clauses, because so far all the release clauses for La Masia players have been around, 6-7 million euros, which is how much Chelsea have paid for Margue. And Deco wants to increase that to maybe 10-11 million euros. And there's even a suggestion that Deco would wanna do a release clause based on appearances. So the more appearances a player has, the higher his release clause would become. So for example, Mika Faye, who has played all season in Barca Athletic, his release clause would be much higher than perhaps another player who hasn't played as much. In this way, Deco wants to shield these players from interest from other European clubs. And even if European clubs do end up deciding, to pay for them, at least Barcelona can make some money if at least they have no say in whether the player leaves or not. Now, you might say, why not just give all these youngsters, 500 million euro release clauses? Well, you can't, because the higher the release clause, the higher the salary has to be. The two are tied together. So that's why Deco wants to increase the release clauses from 6, maybe to 10, 11 million euros. But he can't increase some more, because that would mean increasing the salaries of these players, which of course, Barcelona technically could not afford that, or any club could afford that, because after all, they are still pretty young. They're still in the academy. You can't just go around paying, 5, 6, 7 million euros to a player who is still getting formed in the academy. Now, speaking of salaries, it's being revealed that Margue had asked Barcelona for a salary of 6 million euros per season. And that's why he ended up leaving, because Barcelona could not afford that. Then that to me is absolutely insane. 6 million euros. That's how much Koundé earns, and that's how much Araujo will earn under his contract renewal. And Margue, a juvenil A player, thought he should be earning as much as Koundé and Araujo, two of the best defenders in Europe. Absolutely insane. But anyways, that is all the news for this video. I will be uploading another video right after this one, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.